down. Yeah, Okay, you guys, without further ado, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. We're going to get started right away. Some of you didn't know it, but you've been invited to a debate from the Debating Society, a debating club, I'm not sure its exact name. The first subject they've chosen is the issue of Wikileaks. Now, someone's going to introduce it, but let me just say, and just as the first word, that the Wikileaks phenomenon is quite important. One of the purposes of debate is you get more information about the subject.
You can hold this? I'm getting a call.
You need to cut that part out.
Huh.
I got it. We just found out that he's going to be debating today. We found out like a month ago, like 5 days ago.
What? Mine. It is.
Okay, without further ado, we're going to start.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Welcome to our first debate. Our first debate is going to be about WikiLeaks. I'm sure most of you have heard about it. It's okay, for those of you who don't know about it, it's a website created by a man called Julian Assange, and it publishes information, government information, which is confidential to the public. We have two teams. The first team, Team B, consists of Ahmed Bucks, Shalik Hashmi, and Faris Raja. And the second team, Team A, consists of Saqib, Musa, Abdullah Mhani, and Abdul Karim Antija. We're going to start with Team B. You have 2 minutes for the introduction. Good luck.
Testing. Alright, In our dark, vermin world today, full of corruption, hate, and evil, who will watch the watchmen? Who will differentiate the truth from the fabricated? WikiLeaks? I think not. For centuries and centuries, reverse psychology has been in play. How do you know that you're not another victim of moral injustice being deceived? But for today, We're here to talk about how WikiLeaks shadows where true progress is being made. And whether true or not, WikiLeaks is heroic or villainous. Force of good, or propagators of trouble.
You guys shut up!
I want to start off with some foundations. I want to lay some foundations here. We all have skeletons in our closets. We all do. You. Bottom line is that we all do. Some of us like to lock them up, not show them to the public, while others like to throw our bones and put them in a place where the public can see them. But those who do decide to lock them up and put them in a place where they can't be seen, put them there for a certain reason. They put them there for a certain reason. Because they know at the back of their minds that those skeletons, those bones, don't bring anything other than sadness, hatred, misery, feelings that we do not wish to spread. And that is what WikiLeaks is. Hatred, anger, sadness, misery. I yield my time.
Okay, that was nice, Ahmed. Now we're going to start with Team A, introduction of Team A.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to thank Maisa for organizing this debate. I find it to be the first proper debate actually held in ever. So, on with the topic. I'd like to say that over the past few years, there's been several conspiracies released over topics of government and issues of politics. But how many people have died in vain in Iraq and Afghanistan? How many people have died without us knowing how, and why, and where, and when? WikiLeaks, basically, well, let's ask, what is WikiLeaks? It's an organization without a structure. Julian Assange isn't the official president. He's only the spokesperson of WikiLeaks. He's only been called a president by the media popularly. Now, WikiLeaks began in 2006, organized by Chinese dissidents, journalists, mathematicians, and technologists from the US, Taiwan, Europe, Australia, and South Africa. Aside from that, WikiLeaks states that its sole cause is to exploit the suppressing governments within the region of Soviet bloc, Europe, the US, and so on. That would be my introduction to WikiLeaks.
Alright, that was the introduction for Team A. Team B has 4 minutes for the body.
WikiLeaks, most people look at as a agent of freedom, but that's not what it is. If someone slaps you in the face, you have two options, okay? You can ask them why they slapped you, or you can slap them back. Now, slapping them back is not something which makes a lot of sense. Okay? How this relates to WikiLeaks is that WikiLeaks, what it does, it's slapping the US. It slaps the US diplomacy in the face. When the US tries to be diplomatic with other countries, instead of allowing the full diplomacy process to continue and prosper and allow countries to talk, instead what WikiLeaks does is it seeks to undermine this whole process. And this only breeds more hate and anger. WikiLeaks doesn't really stop all this anger and hate. When you have U.S. troops doing war crimes in Iraq, most of the times these war crimes are not, they're not ordered by U.S. generals. These war crimes are done by the soldiers themselves. So what the soldiers do does not necessarily represent what the whole country believes in. I'm not a supporter of the US, but this is how armies around the world are. If some soldiers go around and start whatever, they do whatever with people in the countries, and now you start publicizing this, and you start making this look like this is what all US soldiers in Iraq do. It doesn't help. That's all WikiLeaks does. It makes these few small incidents, WikiLeaks has had only 3 major data leaks till now, data dumps, what they call. They it's actually being perpetrated by only one person, a private in the US Army, who they recently found out who it was. And this man, what he used to do was he's actually had a criminal record in the past, and then he joined the US Army. And instead of trying to support his own army, he went and he started with, somehow he hacked his way into, using his terminal, he hacked his way into, this isn't Julian Assange, this is someone else, into the major database of the US, which has all these documents and things like this, and without looking through them or anything, he submitted them to WikiLeaks, and the media saw this as a way to grab onto certain incidents and portray them as, the main message of WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks is not about this. What it's really about is just trying to, it's publicity. The person who formed WikiLeaks is Julian Assange, unlike what they said. And what he did was he did this whole thing just so that he would get more famous. And now this doesn't sound, if I just say this, it doesn't make much sense, but if you look at his past history, when he was a teenager, he used to call himself, it's called an ethical hacker. And what these people do is basically look for security flaws in major databases or whatever and exploit them and then tell the people that they did this. And normally these people, they don't reveal their identities, but he was very prominent for doing this. He basically has done this whole thing just for publicity.